Hi there, it's Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I am going to do some unbundling. I'm going to unwrap these bundles and show you what's inside. They are eco prints of autumn leaves on paper, so they're botanical contact prints. Now, this is not a how-to video, and that is because a while back, I made a how-to video. I mean, it has everything from how to choose your leaves so that your pages really pop, and then just step-by-step instructions so that you can make your own prints. It is messy, but it is not hard. So if you'd like to see that video on how to make the same kind of prints that we're about to look at now, you can check it out. There's going to be a link in the text box below this video, and it's also going to be the first pinned comment. So that's where you can find the how-to video. Let's go unwrap some bundles. I like to do my outer layer with some gauze or scrim or even cheesecloth because it gets you a nice tight purchase on your bundles, and then it also gives you a little bit of extra cool distressed dyeing on the cloth. There's almost nothing that makes me happier than opening these up. You forage your leaves, and then you tear your papers, and you steam like crazy. And then you wait for them to dry. And then you get to see what you got, what's inside. Oh, those little red ones really popped. See that? Well, these are imperfect, and that is sometimes going to happen when you work with nature. So that one did not give a big imprint, but these did. And so I can just use this part of the paper, or I can cut around these and make them into little leafy shaped tags. So even if it's not a complete success, you almost always get something fascinating. Whoa. Okay, that turned out good. And these, I really like how these little thin ones, they don't look like much. They didn't look like much when I picked them up, but boy, they gave a lot of pop there. And that is something that I have found from doing these for years and years, that sometimes the leaves that look like they've got the most color on the ground don't always give you that best pop on the page. And again, the best way to do it is experiment. And kind of take notes. So next time I'm walking, I'll be able to look out more for, yeah, see, I thought that would have done a lot, and it did not. But then this one did. Who knows? These are really, really giving some drama. Whoa. Now, I tear my pages to this size because I know after years of doing this that I'm going to be using these for pages in my art journals or for covers. So I don't bother making big A4 size sheets. I go ahead and tear them because then I'm going to have a stash to keep me going of something that I know I'm going to want to work with. But you could also use them for cards. Or a boatload of other mixed media projects. This is where I experimented using a piece of tracing paper. It's vintage tracing paper. I wanted to see if it would, what would happen if I tried to print on it. And I think I'm gonna wait until it's dry because it's gonna give me a different look, but didn't seem to want to absorb as much of this as I had hoped. And there's that gorgeous russet color again. Here's some of the papers from the second bundle. Let's do this a little more quickly. I do think it's very interesting how the ones that were brown and very humble looking are really giving us the best look there. So I'm actually going to save this and put it in my book so that when I go out for a walk, I can remember which ones gave me the most oomph. And this is another piece of that tracing paper. And you know what? This one's giving me a lot more. So I think I'm going to keep on with experimenting with that and see what happens. Some of these big ones are doing nothing, and then some of them are really popping. Ooh, that's a very good one. Look at that. And there you go. Again, if you like this technique and want to play around with it yourself, check out the link to the how-to video that is in the text box below and also in the first pinned comment. If you like paper arts, book and paper arts, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and turn on the notifications, and that way you will have more of them in your life. Next step is I'm going to iron these. They're still slightly damp, and that's the best time to iron them, so they'll be nice and flat for making art journals, or what you will. Join me soon for more making stuff, and until then, happy making.